appreciate you taking the time this morning to have a 15-minute chat and tell us a bit about your business and how you ended up where you are. So it's a great name for a business, Emotional ID.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear how you came up with that one. I mean, business is an emotional business to begin with, and there's always ups and downs in it. But as I say, I started out in England. Obviously, I'm not from here. So I worked in Europe for a while, worked in England, and then I got sent to the colonies to start a business over here, and I've been here ever since. So I really enjoyed working in this local market. And we moved to Memphis, and we've always been in Memphis. We just loved it here, and we'd just like to stick in this place, and really enjoyed seeing it grow over the last 30 years. It's been a tremendous change in it. So that's about me, so where I am. So introduce yourself and tell me what you do and how you all got started.
Oh, okay. Well, my name is Joshua Nelson. I'm the founder and CEO of Emotional Ideas Incorporated. We are a sports and entertainment technology company. So we take amusement products, games, and attractions, and we find a way to revolutionize them for the next generation. And we're actually starting with the motorsport industry and attraction of go-karting.
Okay.
So, go-karting been around since 1956. So here in 2022, not much has changed outside of going from gas vehicles to electric vehicles. So we wanted to find a way to give it a new face, if you will, a rebrand, if you will. And we found a way by doing that by combining advanced gaming technology with real electric go-karts. Most people equate us to the video game Mario Kart. Are you familiar with that game? Well, we're officially the company that's bringing it to real life. A real moving vehicle. So you'll be able to, with our product, you'll be able to get into a real go-kart, and with buttons on your steering wheel, you will be able to shoot the vehicle in front of you or behind you, as well as an array of power items that'll give you an advantage as you race. So we want to introduce a new version of motorsports that's more stimulating, more interesting to the current generation of entertainment goers. And so we call it a new sport battle racing. And we think this could be a new motorsport that could be an alternative to NASCAR or Formula One for this upcoming generation. So
that's really strange. So you just talk about taking a video game and making it real, as opposed to as a way to the normal is taking the real and turning it
into a video game. Most definitely. And we did that because when most people play video games, because they're desired to do that thing they want to do in real life. And because they can't, they feel like their only option is to go to the virtual world. Whereas we see now an opportunity to take that virtual and bring it back to the physical world, because there are such things that you just really can't duplicate, like G-force and things like that. You can't really duplicate that. And so, people like myself that love hypersensory and things like that, we take all that combination and repackage it into a new experience. And that kind of plays to why we are Emotional Ideas. Emotional Ideas, we say we have innovative ideas driven by emotional passion. So all of our ideas come from a place of emotion and passion. And I actually came up with this idea because I went go-karting one day. I'm born and raised in Memphis, Tennessee. So I went putt-putt with an entertainment center called putt-putt. And when I was go-karting, I was stuck behind the go-kart in front of me. Like, for the life of me, I couldn't seem to pass them. In go-karting, you're really just driving, looking for an opportunity, like a slip, to get around the corner, get around him. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't. He was really that good. And I was so frustrated. I said, man, I wish I could take a page out of Mario Kart and like throw a turtle shell at him and slow him down. And when I got off the game, when I got off of racing, I couldn't stop talking about it. I was talking to my friends and family, and they said, if you can't stop talking about something, maybe you should be the one to make it happen. So I'm proud to say that as of officially this year, we have 22 patent claims around this, granted patent claims around this technology, and we should be debuting our product in 2023.
Very nice. So whereabouts are you planning on doing this? And whereabouts are you going to be your first track?
Well, right now, we got an investment group that wants to do the first one in Wisconsin. They want to do a huge 3/4 mile indoor go-kart track. So almost a whole mile indoors.
Wow.
So I'm very excited about that. And again, we're starting with doing this on recreational vehicles like go-karts, but our patent also covers large scale, large engines as well. So we're introducing this as a fun, because any sport started off as fun before it became competitive. So we want to introduce this in the amusement environment as a way to say, hey, this is a new way to race and enjoy the motorsport, and then scale that opportunity up to do larger vehicles on a bigger track to create a professional league of battle racing.
Well, that's I'm a Formula One fan. Always loved Formula Ones, and just You know, the fact that they can watch them here on TV now.
Yeah.
For all the races, just fantastic. But I was watching some on Netflix. It was David Letterman, and he was interviewing Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah.
And they were talking about and showing videos of probably was just film when he was starting, but they were talking about his start in go-karts. And how he progressed in competitive go-karts, and how his dad built the go-kart and maintained the go-kart. And you know, people don't realize that's where everybody starts. They all have to
definitely start. Yes, it's definitely a training ground and a starting point, which is why I'm excited about that, because I mean, what, NASCAR started in like 1948, Formula One started in like 1950. So to be able to be here in 2022 and you don't really know of any other major motorsports, you know, this generation today, you know, they're too busy playing video games.
Right.
So they don't really know about NASCAR. They don't really know about Formula One. So I said, what if I can take what this generation love and mix it with a well-known sport, and introduce something amazing for the future generations.
So without giving away your patents or anything, tell me a little bit about how all that sort of works in the background.
Yeah, no problem. So our product is a retrofit. We call it a battle console. A battle console is like a PlayStation or Xbox, but it can attach onto a go-kart. So we take the body shell off, we take the steering wheel off, and we attach our own custom retrofittable body shell and steering wheel. And it's all interlaid with advanced gaming technology, haptic vibrations, buttons on the front and the back of your steering wheel, sensors all around the vehicle for safety, obviously, rear view cameras, full roll cage, side mirrors. And what it does is it allows you now to take more full control of the vehicle that you're racing with. So as you're actually racing, you know, we have something what we call a battle gauge, and it's essentially the health bar of the vehicle. And so as you race, every time you receive damage, your go-kart or your vehicle will go slower based upon the health that's remained on your vehicle. And so as you race, you must be cognizant that, hey, I must pay attention to my battle gauge, which is my health bar, but I also need to be looking for ways how to get my health back so I can return back to optimal speed, simultaneously with you trying to get in first place. So now we haven't taken out the skill of racing. We're more so supplementing another layer of you know, skill and strategy into the race that now gives you more advantages. So we have offensive and defensive power items, you know, like shields, so no one to shoot you, speed boost, so you can speed up in areas, you know, certain power items to let you shoot in front of you or shoot behind you, certain power items that may slow down everybody on the track simultaneously. So again, and we're modifying the track as well. So we're really taking gaming tech and putting on a real moving track and saying, hey, this now introduces a new level of skill. I'm personally interested to see a day where we can take a Formula One driver, take a NASCAR driver, and take a professional gamer, put them all on the same track and see who comes out. Is it the person with skill that play video games, or the person with strategy that plays video game, or the person with driving skills?
Skills, right? So,
we say our product is built for drivers but designed for gamers.
Yeah, I mean that's amazing. So this all came from you going go-karting.
Yeah,
frustrating. So I mean that's an interesting concept, because you know, as an entrepreneur, it's great having the ideas, but then you have to be able to implement that. So prior to your go-karting, what were you doing?
Well, for me, I've done an array of things. I've studied the amusement and entertainment industry over the last 10 years. You know, I was one of those people that as soon as they opened up a new entertainment center, I was there with a pen and pad. Right. You know, wanted to understand what makes the entertainment world tick. When I was growing up, I didn't get a chance to go to entertainment centers as much as I would like to go, you know, maybe for a birthday or such. Yeah. You know, Keith, people laugh at me, but for my 21st birthday, I actually went to Chuck E. Cheese for my 21st birthday. You know, at that time, they still had adult games. You know, now it's all completely redesigned for the younger audience, but you know, I enjoy myself, and that's how much I love that industry. You know, I also take care of special needs like overnight, and during the daytime I do software. I'm a mobile device analyst during the daytime, where I put like management software on cell phones and tablets. So in the kind of the combination of being a big kid, you know, loving technology, into software and amusement, kind of like cultivated me to do this. And you know, I'm a people person, so my biggest skill is to be able to find other talent and bring a team together to share a vision.
So how did you go about finding or planning and then finding resources to help you get going with all this? Because this is a pretty intense.
First of all, it started with a lot of prayer.
That's right.
Took a lot of that to get that done. I'm like, God, send me the right people. Like, you know, let this person do it for free.
Yeah, that's right. Yes.
So I did a lot of that, and you know, just off of having like networking and meeting people, people's like, you know what, I like your vision, I like your passion. I'll do this for you. I know you don't have the money today, but I'll do this for you. And other people came on the team like, hey, I'll take sweat equity. I'll do this for you. And so a combination of a lot of that, you know, of course, taking out loans, credit cards, picked up an extra job. So, you know, to pay for things for the business. So, you know, a lot of those, a combination of those things, and just not giving up. I've been working on this concept since 2014, since I was 21 years old, and I turned 30 this year.
Yeah.
So, you know, it took a lot, I guess, to prove to people that I wasn't crazy.
Sure.
And I think that was probably the hardest thing, is that people was like, nah, this sounds too good to be true. You can't pull this. So it took a lot of time to do that.
Yeah, it's interesting because I mean, the concept itself and is fantastic, but it's so totally different that, you know, to talk to people and explain what you want to do, you know, it's obviously take you a while to refine it to the way you explained it just now, because it made sense even to me, who's not a video gamer. My Mario Kart experience was through my son playing, you know, so not being a big video gamer, but you explained it that. So it obviously takes a while to get to that point.
Yes, it did.
Where you can sum up your ideas, but it's such an out of the box concept. And then, of course, then you've got to start talking about your tracks and how to put all that together too. So it becomes a huge investment business as well as, which again is, you know, one of those handicaps to people's success. So,
and I'm not one of those businesses that's just like, you can build a mobile app and put it on the app store tomorrow and immediately generate revenue.
Yeah.
And that's been one of my biggest like roadblocks with investors, is that they see the big potential. They see this as $1 billion concept, but it's like, well, how long will it take? Can you do it? Well, I can't immediately make money tomorrow. Right. So I had to go these years finding a way to finance the things that I needed to do to get done, to, you know, get the patents and get the patents granted and get the team and the validity of the software hardware. It was a lot of effort, a lot of back and forth. But we're finally doing it.
I mean, that is fantastic. I mean, and that's one of the great things about doing these interviews. You get to meet a lot of local people here who've come up with these extraordinary ideas, and the media is so full of negativity about what's going on in cities, particularly, you know, sort of like Memphis and stuff. And yet there's all stories like you and several other people that I've talked to that show the totally different side of what cities are all about and what's really going on in their cities. And, you know, it's hard job to get a business started, you know, to get the business off the piece of paper and into some sort of reality. It takes an awful lot of passion, and then just scrambling around for the resources, like you say. I mean, it's not a question of knocking on the bank's door and saying, hey, I've got this cool idea, and they send you out with a wad of cash. I mean,
right. I mean, even growing up in Memphis, you know, and to your point, yes, sometimes I feel like growing up here is a handicap, but then sometimes I feel like it's a privilege too, because it gives me an opportunity to see things in ways that other people may not have. But, you know, the downside of it is people, you know, often prejudge. You know, I'm young, I'm Black, I'm from Memphis. There's not a lot going on here, you know, and for my peers, you know, for me, the biggest motivation is to say that we can be more than just sports players or rappers or artists. You know, there can be, you know, there's other skills and talents that's coming out of this city. And that's my biggest thing, is I want to show that, hey, you know, I'm a young Black guy that's creating a sports and technology company. And no one would thought it was possible. So, you know, it's a lot of secret talents hidden in the city.
Oh, absolutely. And that's one of the reasons to sign up with Action Coach that we give an entrepreneurial class. And so we invite young people to come to an entrepreneurial class where they can learn about how to do things like you've done and how to take their ideas and be able to grow those. And I work with youth a lot in the city and out in the suburbs doing soccer. But it wasn't just about the soccer. It's more about you can do anything you want to if you put your mind to it and don't feel inhibited. And yours is just such a fantastic story that should inspire lots of other people to get out there and do that. And, you know, it's got to be all sorts of credit to you for, you know, 8 years is a long time to have an idea, working on an idea, and it's going to be another 8 years before it comes to fruition and stuff, but you're willing to put that effort into it. So I think that's fantastic. So so you say your first track is looking at the moment like Wisconsin?
Yeah, it's looking like that's where the first one may be. I mean, I have other opportunities around. I mean, I think what I'm trying to do is, I know that Formula One is mainly across seas. I think they just brought one to Florida for the first time.
Yeah, I think there's going to be there's one in Austin, Texas. That's been around for a while. The new one in Miami, and then next year they have added a third in Las Vegas.
Yes, and I know NASCAR is predominantly in the U.S., right?
Right. Oh yeah, it's all U.S.
So I think, but gaming is universal. It's global. So I want to take that advantage of and say, okay, battle racing may have the chance to be one of the world's first inclusive motorsports genres or industry verticals, if you will.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, and get people back out on outside and out of video games and onto the track and actually doing real things instead. So I mean, if you look back and from the initial concept, what could you tell somebody else in the same position to avoid doing? What would some of
I would say don't be too hasty. Even though you're excited, don't be too hasty. All good things take time. Yeah. When I first started working on this concept, I swore up and down that I would be able to get this thing up and running the next year. And boy, was I wrong. But, I'm thankful for the time it took, because over time, every obstacle or barrier that was presented to me, it made my case that much stronger. It made me go back to the drawing board and refine this, rework this, reorganize this, and it made the concept that much more better. So when I finally got to an opportunity where I could seek funding, the investors was like, oh, this is a no-brainer.
Yeah.
You didn't win and fix this, you win and fix that. I got so many no's and so many doors slammed on me. Now it's like, well, you done got everything figured out. You just need to build it, So, it's a good feeling. I will say I quit on this concept twice, because sometimes it's hard when you don't have people that see the vision. Sometimes when you have an idea that only you saw, a lot of people won't get it. And because they don't get it, they shut it down. Not because it's not a good idea, it's because they don't understand it. Yeah. And that's when I started to learn what innovation was. Right. Innovation is going against the grain of the norms.
Yeah.
And so, and it's necessary for progression of the human race. So for me, I was like, okay, I had to stay motivated. So I would say stay motivated if you believe what you're doing is good, it has validity.
That's a really good point. It's coaching. People, business owners look at coaching as a sign of failure. That they first of all, they have to acknowledge they need help, but then it's like, I must be doing badly if somebody's asking me. Whereas, I would point out that the Tiger Woods and LeBron James and all these people, they still have coaches. They're at the peak of their game, but they still need a coach to help them get through. So that's the concept of what a coach should, business coach should be looked at. But it's like talk about, it's that mental thing when you talk to people and they just like, oh no, I don't need coaching. Coaching sort of has a stigma of I'm failing or whatever, but it's not. You can be as successful as you like, but you can be more successful if you have somebody there to bounce your ideas off and help you navigate through the business world. So
I mean, I would liken it to marriage therapy. People say, well, why do I need marriage therapy if my marriage is not having issues? Yeah. Well, that's why you need marriage therapy, so you can stay out of the issue.
That's right. You're already having
so you can continue to learn and progress your marriage.
Right. That's right. So do you have a website and stuff that people can go to?
Yeah. Battleracing.com.
Okay.
It means it's the same as emotionalidealsinc.com, but it's a mouthful for a lot of people. Yeah. So I just tell them to go to battleracing.com.
That's a great name, though. I mean, that puts all sorts of things in people's minds about it. Well, I certainly appreciate you taking the time today. And once we'll get this edited out in the next couple of days, and I'll send you a copy of it, and then we'll start including it in the newsletter for next week.
Sounds good. Well, I thank you, Keith, for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you. I appreciate it. Talk to you soon.
Yes, sir. Bye.
Bye-bye.